Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I have prepared a whiteboard video for you this time answering two questions. Let's start with a question number one. Will the S&P 500 rise or fall next from the perspective of 24th of July 2025, which is today? So I want to open up with Sonny's tweet. He made this tweet yesterday, and this is not just about Sonny. I just cherry-picked Sonny, but this is about many people, and including Henrik Zeberg. I've heard that, I've seen him saying that 6300 is around the top, or a temporary top, after which we should have quite a decline, actually as big of a decline that people are gonna say that this was a double top, at which point you should actually come back to the market, buy back. I was also seeing Freeman on Twitter, another guy that I follow. He's had many very good calls over the past year, and he's also been recently actually of the opinion that we should have a correction next in the S&P 500. Sonny has also been tweeting about that multiple times. This is the tweet from yesterday, even though he today I think made different tweet, but all of these people are saying that from a very good reason. And when you look at the chart of the S&P 500, like, man, like this is an overextension, meaning that this was a V-shape, the last V-shape even bigger that we saw in 2020 was fueled by the excessive money printing. This time we do not have actually that, so it's even more surprising V-shape. And obviously, as we are breaking into new all-time highs every week, the chance grows that we are going to have a decline. So that's why I opened up with Sonny's tweet, because it does make sense to call for something like this. So I'm going to use as my first counter argument my barometer that I have generated recently, week, 2 weeks ago. I have that barometer here on the board. So what I've done with my barometer is that I have skewed it a little bit to the left, so I tempered with it a little bit. The reason why I tempered with it is basically because I see that right now it is actually shockingly following, meaning that if you can see the price, I know there is quite few lines, maybe it could help if I turn off the indicators. So you see that the price is really rising with tandem of these white lines, which is the barometer. And also another reason why I have skewed it to the left is because it also makes sense to me that if there is supposed to be a big bull run or a recovery, say it whatever you want, the market is going to attempt to front run that, because it always happens. The front running of the crashes and the front running of the basically big surges, big pumps, that's the phenomenon that repeats over and over, and I think that is what is going on. And when you look closely to my barometer, it actually says that the first time we're going to have any kind of correction whatsoever is going to be in the around the 7th of August right here, which is, by the way, the time when the tariffs got, we are going to hear another news about the tariffs, because European Union wants to issue, I think, 30% tariff on the US if the deal won't be made, but maybe the deal will be struck. We all know by now most of the tariff issue is just a negotiation tactic, but some of the tariffs are here to stay, because Trump is counting on the revenue and wants to use the revenue from the tariffs. So the first correction should occur around the 7th of August, and that correction should be minimal. It should be basically just a sideways, just few red days, maybe one red week, but like 1-2% correction, not even worth mentioning. And then we should actually push shockingly in the end of August into the start of September, and we should peak in S&P 500, according to my barometer. We should peak around the start of September, and we should peak at the top of this powerful parallel channel. If you look at this parallel channel, like, man, this is a very powerful one, because I have anchored it all the way in the Corona crash, at the bottom of the Corona crash, connected multiple times. We actually we connected with the bottom part of the parallel channel as a support. The most recently we connected on 9th of April this year, and we've basically touched the upper trend line of the parallel channel in 2021 when we formed the top, after which we had the super bearish 2022. So I think that that actually could be next. Based on my barometer, it certainly says so. And another argument I'm going to use as connected to this question is my research, which is completely uncorrelated to the barometer. It has nothing to do with what was happening in January this year, which how the barometer is generated. And this research, we can link to that research through here. This research is all about what is the most probable S&P 500 performance the next year after we've had two back-to-back 20% years. And that research is showing something shockingly similar than the barometer does, and that is basically spring low. You can see it in this simulation. There is blue lines are average, red lines is mean, so you could perhaps hit somewhere in the middle. And basically a spring low, then summer recovery rally, even V-shape, and even the yearly high that should occur during the summer, and then a big drop, and then Q4, the beginning of the recovery. And of course, keep in mind that there is going to be some month difference or inaccuracy. I mean, some time inaccuracy, because this simulation, as I have prepared it for you, this simulation was showing me that the low of this year should occur in May and the high should occur in July. As far as the monthly closes go, okay, is also very different when you think about it. The monthly close and the real top, like the highest monthly close, can be really different month than the real top during that year. But anyway, that's what this research was showing. And yet again, it's showing that this rally that we are at the moment is going to be the yearly top. I think that will come true. I think that is likely to come true, and that we are going to end either in July, or, as I've mentioned, there was a time difference in May, in the spring, because the spring low, this research was showing was going to happen in May, but in fact it happened in April. So this could be also a month delay. So maybe the high of this year is going to actually occur in August, just exactly as my barometer is showing. So that's what I think that should actually be next. This barometer that I've generated is shockingly accurate. I'm almost afraid to follow it, because when something it's not supposed to be so accurate, it's not supposed to work so well. So, but anyway, these were my arguments to the question number 1. Question number 2 that I have prepared a little bit more arguments for. Is crypto still bullish or bearish? Because we are having quite a crypto breakout, shocking breakout, because it's in July. I know Sony has been also doing the research that the Q3s are very strong post the halving years, which is true, and which is basically what we are having. But still, a breakout like this in July, certainly didn't happen in 2021. 2021 we had strong Q3 that we were recovering from the May liquidation cascade, but we didn't have a breakout like this. So it is really shocking, caught lots of us off guard, meaning we were not exposed as much as we would have liked. Anyway, so let's start with the arguments of the alt season. Okay, so this is the alt season index. It actually has been almost hitting this upper line, the alt season line, but it has over the past days rejected. It has went down. So was this an alt season? Is this an alt season already? Fully fledged alt season? Again, fully fledged. This index was, among other things, was showing that we had alt season in November, and the altcoiners, they just refuse to say that was an alt season, because it was so underwhelming from their perspective that they just don't want to even hear that that was actually an alt season in November 2025. But comparing to that move, we still, presumably still weren't there according to the alt season index. When you look at the Bitcoin dominance, I have it right here. We can also check the Bitcoin dominance on my trading view to see the bigger picture. We have actually hit, I have to show you the indicators. We have, I actually called this, that we are going to be reacting from the 50-week moving average, which is this red line. So I call this on Twitter, and I think that the next we should be going to these lines, we should be going to this 53%. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because exactly that happened in December 2024. We basically reacted from this 50-week moving average. So another reason why I'm mentioning, or why I'm showing you the Bitcoin dominance here on this sample, is that the last time in November, again, I'm comparing to the last alt season, okay? I'm comparing to the November-December 2024. That moved to only 16 days. And right now it's over 16 days. When you check from the top of the dominance to the bottom, it's actually 24 days, okay? So we are already past that timing. And I have had a discussion about the timing of the alt season a couple of times. I am not so self-confident, I should say, about calling the alt season, because I felt in the last year, for sure, in 2024, so it's not my forte calling the alt season. So that's why, and I have put here the thumbnail from the Mark's video he made 2 months ago, because he's addressing alt season in this video, and he's recently addressed alt season as well. I should have put that thumbnail too. You can listen to his tube last live shows. Actually, the last one he did on Twitter. It was a Twitter space. And during there, he basically says that at the very least 2 months, the alt season is going to last 2 months. And that's also something that Sony has been saying. So can they be right? And there I have prepared another argument for you that is going to help us to answer that question. Are they going to be right with a call that we are going to have a 2 months plus of the Bitcoin dominance decline, not 3 weeks like we had in November, December last year? So, and I have prepared for you, as you can see, the beautiful table about the altcoin treasuries. This is a new hit. This is the new kit on the block, we could say. And I don't think that's going to end today. I don't think that's over. I think this is going to trickle down into smaller altcoins and more retarded altcoins. We already see a company that is doing, it's not even in this table. The company has a ticker. I can tell you exactly the ticker. The ticker for this company is BTOG. And that company is doing Doge treasury. Doge. And this is still just the start. I'm actually even considering to buy into that company somewhat. Not a large position, of course, but this is still just the start of the retardedness. Like when you check many of these companies, like their chart, let me show you just one, like the one that I bought into, UPXI, that does Solana. This, my dear friends, is basically what I can see from the chart. This is a bankrupting company. It's going to zero. The company's stock is going to zero. Something like a MicroStrategy basically was going after the .com. And look what they've done, what MicroStrategy has done with the Bitcoin treasuries. So they've basically shown, or it seems like they shown everybody how to do this, how to get out of the bankruptcy trouble. Well, do treasuries, easy peasy. You are going to tenfold your stocks, and that's exactly what is happening to all these companies. Even this company has tenfolded, well, actually no, sevenfolded, and right now they then dropped. Then I bought into them, and right now they are like 200% up from the low. But still, this is all, in my opinion, this is super retarded, and it's gonna get even much more retarded. I think companies are gonna be buying meme coins. I think they're gonna be buying not just Doge, but Pepe, GigaChat for all I know, PopCat, all the other large, I think, meme coins. So I think this is not over today. And that's my argument that why I think that Sony and Mark have a good chance that we are gonna see the move for 2+ months. Fundamentally, this is my fundamental argument. There is a technical argument when you look at the cycles, and that of course the alt seasons were bigger and the move was longer, etc., etc. Anyway, let's progress to another argument that I have prepared for you, which is the Bitcoin funding fees, the funding rates, excuse me. The funding rates, this is this blue column. It looks like a column because they are neutral. They have been neutral ever since Bitcoin broke up and liquidated all the shorts. And these funding fees are not, these funding rates, sorry, I'm keep messing this up. These funding rates are not excessive. If you want to see excessive funding rates, you have to dig throughout some of my, you have to look through some of my older work. I have been tweeting about this, but I have a picture of that somewhere here, taken a screenshot of the funding rates some time ago. So let me quickly find it for you here. So I almost have it. I have it here right now. As for your comparison, I put it one next to each other, or maybe we can put it above each other. And see the difference, like here. Do you see this is excessive funding rates for Bitcoin? And this is these excessive funding rates you were during November 2024. So we see nothing like that. So the funding rates are not as excessive as I would think they will be before we actually have, when we have reached a top. Another argument that I'm gonna use is Bitcoin's breakout, okay? So I know this is just a screenshot from the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to show you the Bitcoin chart for a full picture right here. I'm gonna show you weekly. So basically this white line, that's the trend line that I'm very sure you've heard about, because lots of people are talking about the trend line. That was a trend line all the way from the top of 2017. How many years is that? And for the first time on the USD contract. On the other contract like Euro, we have already broken that trend line this year, or actually I should say last year. But for the on the most liquid pair on USD, we have broken it just recently. And after a breakout like that, I do not think we are going to go down, or at least not immediately. And we are not that far from the trend line. So with the combination with the funding rates, I just don't think we should go back below 100 and what is it, 110K. I don't think we should go back. Another breakout that happened was during this purple line. This is, I call them CryptoCons line, because some of the CryptoCon on X, look him up. Some of his work is actually very impressive. This is one of it. He found a beautiful FIP extensions for the whole cycle, and he's found it like 1 year and something ago. He didn't know if these lines will be working, and every single of these lines, this is all FIB extension, and it's always X.618. It's always 618. And every single time we actually came or broke the purple line, we just started going higher until we reached another purple line, and then we stayed below it for some time, we broke it and stayed below it for some time, and now we broke it and we should stay above it. Basically, we should not go below this purple line. It's 109.2k. It should not, in my opinion, happen. So there is multiple breakouts on Bitcoin that is multi-years, multi-cycle, that is like, I'm not convinced that we are gonna come back below 110k. So just as simple as that. And my last, the cherry on the cake, my last argument with which I'm going to conclude this whiteboard video is our dear friend Capo. Our dear friend, he did it again. He did it, guys. How he does it, I don't know. Like, this guy is really something else. It's a piece of work. It's not it's not his. This is my tweet. I've retweeted his tweet and also showed the sample from his Telegram channel. And this tweet is not complete. If it was complete, there is more written in this tweet. You can look up yourself this tweet. And he's basically saying that he's net short. And this was a tweet from the 30th of June 2025. So imagine, let's see the altcoins total Q. Let's see daily. So the 10th of June, 30th of June, that was here, right here in this spot. Imagine that he was tweeting that he is net short altcoins, and that he's net short altcoins since May. He actually went net short altcoins. I know he's bearish. He started being bearish in this spot, and then he was basically bearish all the way up. It's just unbelievable. And our good friend Capo is basically just reminding us that he is bearish, and this is a black swan, or this is something like that. And he tweeted the black swan as well in May. Picture of the black. He pinned it to his X, and he's basically saying he has detailed plan for this year, and he's saying that life-changing, massive recovery, life-changing money in October, November. And remember what I've opened this whiteboard video with. Remember my other research. This one and this one. What I'm basically saying you, and what Capo is inversely saying, that we are peaking for the year during this bull run. And that's how I'm going to conclude this video. So let me know in the comments what do you think.